They almost took him to a behaviorist for it. 3 mornings in a row, at almost the exact same time, Otis refused to eat breakfast and instead paced in tight circles around Callum Reyes, pawing at his leg until he stood up. Callum, a warehouse shift supervisor who'd had the dog since he was a puppy, chalked it up to boredom at first. Boxers were known for being demanding, high energy, a little neurotic if understimulated. His girlfriend, Bree, a veterinary technician of 6 years, had a different read. "That's not boredom pacing," she said on the second morning, watching Otis circle him for the 4th time in 10 minutes. "That's something else, and I don't love it." By the 3rd morning, it had escalated. Otis wouldn't let Callum near the stairs. He blocked the bottom step with his whole body, then his head, then finally, when Callum tried to step around him, pressed his skull hard against Callum's shin and refused to budge, whining low in his throat. Bree's professional instinct kicked in, and not in Otis's favor. She'd seen dogs develop sudden possessive or anxious attachment behaviors around a specific family member before, and it rarely ended well without intervention. "We should crate him during the mornings until we figure this out," she told Callum. "This isn't normal, and I don't want it turning into something worse." Callum agreed, reluctantly. That night, they moved Otis's crate to the far end of the hallway, out of the bedroom, out of the morning routine entirely. The next morning, at 6:38, Otis started throwing himself against the crate door. If you've ever wondered what your dog knows 30 minutes before you do, this story is exactly why you should keep watching. Subscribe for more. Callum woke to the sound of metal scraping against hardwood and Otis's low, continuous whine turning into something closer to a bark he'd never heard from him before. He let him out, half annoyed, fully awake now, and Otis ran straight to the bathroom door where the shower was already running, where Bree had gone in 8 minutes earlier and hadn't answered when Callum called her name. She was on the bathroom floor, mid-seizure, the water still running cold over her legs. Bree had been diagnosed with epilepsy at 19 and hadn't had a breakthrough seizure in 3 years. She hadn't even told Callum how close her medication window sometimes ran. The neurologist who treated her that afternoon explained what Otis had likely been responding to all along: subtle chemical changes in scent and behavior that can precede a seizure by 20 to 45 minutes, changes dogs can detect long before any human would notice a thing was wrong. Another few minutes alone on that tile, and we're having a very different conversation, the ER physician told them both later that day. Has your dog ever tried to warn you about something before you understood what it was? Tell us in the comments. We want to hear it. Every piece of it rearranged itself in Callum's mind that same afternoon. The pacing at 6:40 every morning, not boredom, but a warning clock only Otis could read. The block at the stairs, not possessiveness, but trying to keep Bree from a fall while alone. The thrown weight against the crate door, the only alert system left once they'd taken away the one he actually had. If this is the kind of story you want more of, subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Otis sleeps outside the bathroom door now every single morning without being told to. Bree keeps a spare set of his favorite treats in the cabinet just for the mornings he gets it right, which, so far, has been every single one.